So the focus today is to brief you two things. One is how we bootstrap, how we connect all the AI to Knowledge Mem. And the second one is after that, what it's like to work with Knowledge Mem. So basically, the first thing after you have Knowledge Mem installed is to check the connectors. And it will guide you how you can connect all your favorite AI toolings natively to Mem. And basically, you just copy normally if your AI tools are some AI agents running on your computer, you just copy this scale line and paste and send it to your favorite agent. And that's all. And that actually you can browse all the AI agents in our website. And normally after that, that's all we need to do to connect all your AI. But if like you're using ChatGPT Pro on ChatGPT website, you probably will be recommended to, it's highly recommended to also install our browser extension, for example, for Chrome. And after you install this extension in your like ChatGPT session, you will have the option to also sync all your browser-based AI threads or even enable agent sitting in your browser to do some more things. And basically, after you install the browser, you can configure the policies on how you want to sync your AI to Mem. The message backup means all this platform's messages will be automatically backup. Or optionally, you can disable the default policy and trigger the sync or memory detail ad hoc. And yeah, that's basically two main things you will need to do to connect your AI. And after that, if nothing breaks, all your messages will be synced to Knowledge Mem. And you don't have to be scared by all those AI options in the UI, because I will demonstrate you in most of the cases when we were using Knowledge Mem, you don't actually access its GUI. You just use the normally in the way that you are talking to your codecs or cloud code as usual. So the only difference is all of your AI shared one brain, and you don't have to talk same things to different AI again and again, and you will never be afraid of switching from one AI to another new very exciting AI toolings that your existing history, your decisions were bounded to the old AI tools. And for example, I'm using Conductor, so it's a agent that's leveraging the harness from both Cloud Code, Open Code, Cursor, and Codex. And after because it's underneath leveraging Codex, so basically I just start a new Codex session and drop the connector scale lines to it, and it will help me gradually install everything I need. And after that, for example, when the agent is running, and you can just see the same session is appending. The new messages are just aggregated to Mem. And what's the consequence of that? The benefit of that is I can always continue a new session across different AI, and everything is underneath connected and remembered. For example, I just asked, can we continue our work on the OKF study? Because I used to study it on the other AI tools before, and all the AI that already connected to Mem without your on purposely specifically mentioned. Everything will underneath working just like Champ, and it will automatically reuse what you already preserved and processed in your Mem spring. So this is a daily usage pattern of me. And for example, you already are doing a study from your phone with ChatGPT Pro, and the other morning you want to continue your study and actually implement or execute your sales plan, your research paper preparation. You just start another Codex or Cloud Code session and say what you are going to do next, because everything is synced. Previously, we have to do some, files export and copy paste in our session to do some handoff thing, and that's no longer needed. And also, all the things, related things, was discussed and finalized or worked in progress like months before. Everything is connected. Your AI just remember everything, and that's the freedom and the continuity you gain in our daily workflow. You don't have to do anything on Knowledge Mem's UI to just have this effect. And another thing besides the handoff, and you just say it without doing any magic, you just have its continuity. The third thing I want to mention is magic use cases. Our team ever actually encountered with Knowledge Mem and the multi-agent platform. So it basically when we were using in our team, we were using an awesome multi-agent platform called Raft, and we have multiple human coworkers, and every human coworker will control and daily using different agents with different identity, different souls. And one example that we found is really, really magical is, for example, one of my agent, for example, Dab or Hacker, he is connected with the knowledge map, belongs to me. And he had every experiences, all the details on all the way along we were building knowledge map and my other open source projects and my trip travel plan with my wife, something like that. And also my coworker, our CTO, he also bring his agent that with the experience on most popular open source distributed database, and he was the #1 contributor of that project. And this agent, with same name of his GitHub handle, with traumatic experiences and memories on distributed system and building a reliable online service. So when we want to start our very first study on the Knowledge Mem Cloud project, we just set up a group chat and bring one of my agent who is very familiar with Knowledge Mem and everything, all the decisions behind the project and all the implementation and the design processing details. And the two agents just can freely communicate each other and share and exchange what they already have, and they have the all the things needed and moving forward automatically, and it's becoming a graph of looped agent execution, and everything was so smooth and magical, and we can feel that's the future of how the human and people are working together. The continuity and the memory behind it is also very crucial, and that's how we are using Knowledge Map daily. So the third part is what can we do more? Like Knowledge Map is holding all the traces and all the decisions, all the context you have with AI. So we are not actually limited to bring the continuity of the thing. And for sure, underneath, Knowledge Map is doing a lot of massive things to ensure your memory bank is not getting garbage and getting mess. I want to show you more on some very interesting gains, a part of that. So one of the things, so some basic concept I want to review here is Knowledge Map are aggregating things in different spectra or layers. We in Knowledge Map we are getting traces, the basic traces from all your conversation sessions, and they are all connected and aggregated in Map, and that's very important because in some cases you want to trace back to get more detailed things to enable to continue your work or study. And also we need to abstract and distill the core long-term memories from all those traces. So we need to read them securely. And that's why we persist all the traces and also generate the memory units. And in the memory units in Knowledge Map is typed with different categories. For example, we have fact, preferences, the decisions, the plan-based memories, and the procedure memories, and the learnings, and other types. So the first thing I want to show you is we actually are categorized the procedure memories, and we will watch and evaluate which of the procedures were done in multiple times, and they are so significant that maybe you want to sync them or create a skill upon of that. So most of us will be familiar with the agent skill. So it's a bundle or file that describes the know-how of specific reusable workflows, right? So in Knowledge Map, we will, based on all the things you were thinking, you were working through, and suggest like maybe you want to create this skill based on your previously working records, and if you want to enable it, we will make this a proper AI skill that will expose to any agent platform that you specifically want to connect. For example, we already connect Codex and Cloud Code, and if the suggested are agreed to turn it on, it will be your skills that's accessible to all your AI agents you want to expose. And also, it's not stopping there because we continually evaluate and trying to very carefully to help you to improve your workflows. So we will watch and evaluate continually in optimization loop way that to carefully suggest maybe you want to improve your skill with the new records during your using. So that means your skill will be automatically getting better during your future usage. And that's not only the that's not limited to all the the naturally grown skills proactively generated. You can also on purposely create any skills within the knowledge map skill, because we know some of our AI users will want to create some workflows that you can leverage in the future. But creating a skill will actually needing you to actually dump your understanding of specific know-hows, and that's sometimes you just talk a lot of audio to AI. But with that's already easier. But with knowledge map, because you're already doing those know-hows in your daily life and daily work time, so we already have those contexts. You just tell us, and we will help you gradually create that skill, and that skill will be optimized during the usage. So that's the core process of the how we want to work with skills with knowledge map. And also you can choose to bring in your already using skills to the knowledge map skills. And for example, you already create a skill, or you already are dumping existing very popular useful skill. You can also bring it to knowledge map, and we will use the similar optimization flow to help you make this skill more close to your own workflow and make it getting better and better on your usage pattern. So this is only one perspective of the memories that we're talking about. So the next thing I want to demonstrate is the library. So we already know that knowledge map are persisting your conversation traces, and also it will distill your long-term memories. A part of that, we don't, and also you have the skills. A part of that, we will also allowing you to bring the external knowledge or memories, and we call it artifact under the library. Just like your books, your documentations, you can actually upload your docs, your interesting papers, and underneath, so knowledge map will learning it with our background intelligence agents, and they will generate learnable or reusable insight or learning memory units underneath. And of course, you can learn with AI, starting with AI within the library here. And it will do the learning in the interactive way, and we consider this is a very amazing adventure. And so this is the library. And also a part of you as a human, you manually inject your knowledge to the system. Actually, the involved artifact with your agent, your AI agent, it will automatically leverage the the library feature, and you can also tell the agent to save this to knowledge map library, and it will do so. And this is something different, and I guess some of us are familiar with the Kaparsi's famous blog about how he will orchestrate and organize his knowledge works with the Obsidian and language model, and the famous LLM wiki, where the workflow, how you want to make use of your existing accumulated knowledge. And within the knowledge map, we have similar workflows, and we call it wiki 2. And all the differentiation here is we didn't ask you to write the wiki, or even ask your AI to write a wiki. Instead, we actually are abstract the knowledge in a knowledge graph way from your memories, and we generate different knowledge entities, and we trace the relationships between the entities, and that becomes a knowledge graph. And on top of the knowledge graph, we are using the graph algorithms to help you find those more closed, aggregated communities within the graph. For example, this community are having some specific topics, and based on those topics, we generate wiki. So basically, all the wikis are reflecting the overall knowledge of your context, and they are accessible anytime in the open format, because, for example, we support the open knowledge format, and we also support the Logseq and Obsidian's IO wiki, and you can always anytime dump your snapshot of all your knowledge in the open bundle format. And also at the same time, everything we are holding in knowledge map are looks quite interesting, but they can also be viewed by human or agent in a more structured way, and that's why we provide this tree view. So in tree view, you can see your memories in different labels, types, and your like your skills, your threads, and also your wiki topics, and all your different type of context in a structured way. And for human, you really can have a whole picture, and you can walk through in a structured order to see what you already have. For example, this is the working memory. So working memory is a type of memory that's focusing on describing what you are focusing on across different working domain or task, but specific on this time period. So it's a concept of your how your mind is working. These 2 days you were focusing on 3 things, and they are together in your working memory. And and so come back to the tree. So we also provide the tree, the logical underneath fundamentally structure in the tree view, and we call it knowledge file system. It's a virtual file system interface of all your contact, and your AI agent will have another way, a part of. So imagine our contact can be accessed with a search engine like interface to your agent, and this is like the file-based interface. Underneath everything is the same one, but with a different perspective of projection to your agent, and in different pattern or different scenario of leveraging or consuming those contexts, you will need different tools, and agent will know it. He will understand. The agent will understand more than us actually, but we provide all this abstraction of tools to agents. Yeah, and basically that's the main part of different contexts I want to show you in this introduction. And finally, I want to show you is something we call timeline, and this imagine is the Twitter, is the Facebook feed you want to see normally around your friends or coworkers, right? But this is all about yourself, your context. So within the feed, you can see anything. You can search things, ask questions. That's the basic operation. But you can also ask our, the agent behind Knowledge Mem to do anything, like organize your things and ask what topic you have, and doing some manipulation things. Or you can even drop your, you see a new paper, you can drop your paper to here, and it will dump you to the library and do the auto learning there. And also a part of that, you can see. I want to review more things to you. For example, you can see the working memory of other days, and you can see sometimes we will ask human to in the loop to help us getting the memory better. For example, we realize that there are some memories that comes with some conflict. So normally without your human action, we will connect them and based on the the time period. So when you are leveraging them, you don't get only part of them, and you get you don't get the wrong answer, the wrong reference. You get the whole picture, and you get how things are changed. And but without your human action, still we can handle it properly. And this is something about things are getting outdated, and this is something that reflecting how we maintain your whole memory health. You can for sure take actions, or if you don't do, we will do the the things in a reasonable way. And for example, you will see different things and how the things are changed here, and you will see here is we are doing some knowledge graph extraction based on your memories, and we are updating some rule typed memories. The rule typed memories is something like the agent.md that scales. You can have unlimited agent MDs in such type, and this is some long run recruiting theme. So we think you will have some insights from that. So you can do something based on that. You can ask follow up questions, and you can do everything in this. And if there is only one GUI element you want to focus, you want to get attention, that is the timeline. Yeah. And I don't want to put too much things in this session. For example, you can actually see what's actually being done underneath. You can see more all the background intelligence tasks that's being run, and you can show more. And you can also decide some preference or some configurations policies on how we handle those different AI context underneath, and you can run off some of them immediately without waiting on a specific schedule or trigger condition. So, but normally we don't have to take care of them. You just put it on the background, and everything in same page in a wise way. And but if you are interested, you can also refer to our documentation for a lot of more details. And we also have AI agent within the documentation, so you can freely to ask things there. And we have the feedback window here, so you can report your thoughts, your painful bugs, encounters, or questions, and we will email you back when needed. And also we have a community in Discord, so you can access them from the settings info and to join us and discuss things with us. And you have more things that I want to put into the single sessions. So you can, for example, you can within this knowledge graph, you can do discussions, exploration, just like Tony Stark, in a movie, thinking things and getting things connected, and come out with the final, aha moment on your ideas. And you can even ask or discuss with AI here. To come up with a paper or a draft or a design plan or even a blog, and during the whole process of the talking to your knowledge here, you can actually interrupt or select or expand anytime, actually get access of your whole, brain of knowledge here. And we are trying to make this agent doing a lot of knowledge works or self exploration of understanding what you are learning within this agent. And also, like AI now is the native agents, just like Codex or Cloud Cowork within Knowledge Map. So if you want to use it, you might find it's more native to sitting on your knowledge. And you, like, for example, if you're doing a deep research task, it will not only doing the Google thing, also fully explore your memories. And we have some fancy features, like you can plan a trip within Knowledge Map. It will generate you a trip plan in a very elegant way. And we are making this better. Please remember, all those capabilities are already exposed and connected to your AI tools. That's like Codex. So within Codex, you can also do most of the things like we do in AI now, or in the timeline. Yeah. And basically, that's all the things we want to cover in this introduction. And if you have more discussions or questions with us, just drop an email, come to Discord, or click the feedback within the app. And that's all. Thank you.